Typically, when people think about FedEx, small package delivery comes to mind. After all, the company delivers millions of them every day. But that's only part of their business offerings. FedEx has established itself as the #1 provider of expedited freight shipments. These freight shipments are large and/or heavy deliveries, which travel from point A to point B via the enormous FedEx air and ground network.
On a nightly basis, we do anywhere from 3,500 to 5,000 express skid shipments a night. It's a challenge for us because unlike when you have a huge product swell of small boxes or overnight letters, when you have a big product swell and it's a lot of different freight skids, all of a sudden you have to be able to move all that. And we do free flow all the freight through the system, so it takes a lot of planning, a lot of coordination, and it works very well. Express freight is treated exactly the same as any of our overnight express or express products. Let's say you wanted to be picked up here in Indianapolis and you want to move it to Los Angeles, for example. You'd make the phone call. Our express freight driver would go out and make the pickup, bring it back to this location or to the location where it originated. It would be built up on a pallet, very similar to what you see here, and then put on an aircraft to the destination city where the process would basically start all over again in reverse, where the pallet is broken down and put on a truck and delivered to the customer.
To qualify as freight, a package must weigh at least 151 pounds. It must be palletized, stackable, forklift-friendly, and shrink-wrapped or banded for stability. To ensure uniform cargo distribution, a skid should have a footprint no larger than 16 square feet and be no taller than 70 inches. The maximum weight for a standard freight package tops the scales at 2,200 pounds.
All airplanes have to have a specific center of gravity and have a specific weight limit to fly. And we're very, very cautious about that. We're very careful about making sure that we load the airplane the right way according to that specific aircraft. The whole process happens in a matter of 3 to 4 hours from start to finish. Basically, we guarantee the customer a specific pickup time, a specific delivery time, and then everything in between is the time we have to fly or drive the freight to us, sort it, and get it back out. Here's a perfect example of what we call a cookie sheet or a pallet ready to be built up right here. This is a 96-inch pallet, and this will lock perfectly into the airplane just like a container does. And actually, if you look at the sides, these little holes are exactly where the nets tie into to lock the load to the pallet, and then the specific pallet will be slid into the aircraft and locked in a position where it locks on the floor. All the freight product we palletize because it's easier to build up freight when you can get it at it from all 4 sides versus putting it into a container where you basically have one-sided access.
The FedEx hub in Indianapolis spans an impressive 360 acres and has 75 aircraft gates, enabling them to expedite their precious cargo at all hours.
There's about 100 aircraft that fly in and out of Indianapolis. FedEx is the largest all-cargo airline in the world and actually has the largest fleet of aircraft in the world.
Cutting-edge tracking technology and unmatched logistic capabilities allow FedEx to offer a special service called FedEx Custom Critical. It's an elite division that provides lightning-fast door-to-door service for urgent freight, valuable items, and hazardous goods.
When a customer needs to ship something, probably with some time constraints or some security constraints, they'll come to FedEx Custom Critical. Basically, the customer calls us, and our customer service agent in Ohio will take the information, the pieces, the weight, the commodity of the freight, the dimensions, ask the customer what time it's going to need to be picked up and what time it's going to need to be delivered. And they'll give them a price to the penny on the telephone and book the shipment for them. At which point, the dispatcher turns around and locates one of our trucks, much like the one you see behind me, to handle that freight. And again, we're going to pick it up from that shipper, take it directly on the ground to a delivery location, to the final consignee. Now, we've been doing this for many years. This started in the early 80s, so we've got much data to rely upon to figure out where the next emergency might come. We also have 5 different unit sizes, so from the small Econoline vans all the way up through a tractor trailer. So we have to figure out where to position this equipment across the United States and Canada in order to meet that customer's demand and pick it up within 90 minutes. We have some very sophisticated computer systems that really look back, and they look back at a year ago, they look back at a week ago, they look back at yesterday, and try and figure out where those freight trends are coming from. And we are pretty darned accurate at positioning trucks. We guarantee our customers that we're going to deliver on time. For most of the major markets in the United States, we'll pick up within 90 minutes of the time a customer calls. The way we do it is we have a fleet of independent contractors who own and operate their own trucks. All of those trucks are satellite equipped. So once a driver has made a pickup at a shipper, we monitor that truck as it moves down the road every single hour, and sometimes even more timely. We monitor that truck to know exactly where they are. We take the longitude and latitude location from the truck, put it back into our computer system, and calculate, based on the time for delivery, whether or not the truck is running on time. If in fact we find out that they are not running on time within a 15-minute window of the time we've told the customer we're going to deliver, we automatically send a message to the truck asking them why they're running behind, and also to a dispatcher to make sure that we are keeping the customer up to date. At that point in time, that driver would let us know what's going on. Maybe they're stuck in a traffic jam. Maybe they've got into some construction. It could be a whole manner of things. But one of the things that we do is we are really communications experts. So when a customer hands us their freight, especially in this critical shipping environment, they expect that we are going to do what we say we're going to do, and we do.
FedEx is at the top of the freight game thanks to a well-coordinated system that utilizes advanced technology, an unmatched depth of experience, and a vast fleet that can get cargo from pickup to destination in a flash, wherever that destination may be.